Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, Modern Warfare needs 1 terabyte of RAM. Let me just check the flux capacitor. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Modern Warfare needs 1 terabyte of RAM. Hi all, mandatory LTL, FTP. On mobile, so formatting will be a bit sketchy, and disclaimer, not in tech support, but hopefully will be eventually after completing my comp sci degree. Was in a team viewer session with a colleague, but 10 brief minutes ago when I discovered to my distaste that his 2 terabytes HDD was filled to the brim, as was his 120 gigabytes SSD. Upon inquiring what was using such immense portions of precious digital real estate, I was met with the standard "I'm not sure, it's always been like that. I just delete stuff when it's too full to function" type response. Enter WinDirStat to save the day. For those of you unaware, this little app displays the contents of your drives in a graphical layout, with the size usage of each file proportionately scaled to the others. Normally one can expect a large block of medium-sized files, some downloaded videos, a few Steam games, but never in my years have I opened the application to find one giant ing monstrosity of a block consuming well over half the poor 2 terabytes drive, barely leaving other little files to squeeze in around the edges, clawing desperately for some leftover ones and zeros to call home. The seasoned among you will already have guessed, but this file was none other than the villain of the piece, the dark and shady pagefile.sys. Our hero, yours truly, swam through the dark recesses of the system configuration in search of the settings pane that would confirm my hunch, all the while my colleague's eyes growing wider with understanding and guilt. Eventually I found it. The page file options were set to manual configuration, and that manual configuration was a default size of 1 terabyte, with permission to expand to 1.2. My colleague offered an explanation for his actions. Apparently some 4 years ago he fancied himself a game of Modern Warfare, and was displeased to find it kept crashing. Rather than just quit some background applications or buy some more memory, he decided the best solution was to boost his page file size. First a GB, no good. Maybe 2 gigabytes. No dice. Eventually he must have just opted for 1 followed by a random amount of zeros, happening to be an entire TB. Years passed and he didn't notice the change day to day as the page file gradually grew fatter, gorging itself on any scraps of executable it could find. Slowly expanding to occupy 1.2 terabytes of his total 1.8. And that is how he has lived. Without question. For 4 years. A page file size drop and reboot later, and he was a happy camper, and I had my first TFTS post. Let me just check the flux capacitor. I'm a full-stack web dev, mostly working on developing and maintaining e-commerce sites using my company's in-house platform. We do support and maintenance as well as new sites and features, but aren't expected to support end users directly. However, we occasionally, or in the case of the site that features in this story, not so rarely, get end user issues forwarded to us if the client's help desk can't fix it or just don't feel like doing their jobs today. This story features the same healthcare adjacent e-commerce site as my previous tale. Our client contact got in touch in a panic. $Client, urgent account help, please look at this urgently. $Manager, hey $me, can you look into this? $Client, I have no idea what's happened. $Customer only signed up on Monday, but has been getting text notifications about an order he didn't place since Saturday. Yes, our site is malfunctioning and sending spurious notifications back in time to before we had this customer's contact details. Or maybe, it's not anything to do with his account at all. I knew what had happened as soon as I read the email. It's the same reason I semi-regularly get texts for a Ms. James about her supermarket order. Seems like a bit of a coincidence that some other customer would make a typo in their mobile number that was not only another valid mobile number, but another customer of this site. But of course, it wasn't another customer's mobile at the time, and probably the recipient of the texts signed up in an attempt to get them to stop. To be fair to the client contact, they could reasonably have wanted help identifying the account that mistakenly had $customer's mobile number, since our CMS doesn't have a function to search by phone number. Instead, I fired up my database client and confirmed that this was the case, pulled out the ID of the offender, and provided idiot-resistant instructions to resolve the issue. We also recommended to $client that they have us update the text message templates to greet the customer by first name, to make any such issues in the future more apparent. So it was far from a useless request. But I can't help but laugh at the panicked report that $customer's account was malfunctioning since before it existed. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.